On December 31st, 2008, it began. How's it hanging, YouTube? You got the Razman here with you via the World Wide Web for the national, international, worldwide debut of the Razman's reality. Made famous, of course, in the Dayton area hotline scene via the Vault hotline, the Source hotline, Daryl McGee's hotline, or wherever else yours truly has graced his voice to in the last 5 to 7 years. I want to thank you for finding me, whether it was through the hotlines, or whether it was through word of mouth, or whether it was through a plain YouTube search, Google search, whatever. However you came across the Razman's reality, I want to thank you for finding it. And let me tell you something, your world's never, ever going to be the same. Real quickly, for those of you that don't know me, my persona, the name I go by is the Razman. I have cerebral palsy, and that's why I'm here. To inspire those people like me that are handicapped, that you don't have to let go of your dreams or be held back just because you're disabled. You can do anything you want to do. And what I want to do is share my very strong opinions and speaking gift with the world. And I'm talking sports, wrestling, movies, whatever is on my mind. I will not hold back. I will always speak my mind, and I will tell you reality as I see it. Hence the title. How's it going, everybody? That's right, today you got the Razman coming at you with the 6-year anniversary of the Razman's reality on YouTube video. Today, on the Razman's reality. Well, to borrow a phrase from one of my favorite television characters from my favorite comedy of all, well, second favorite comedy, or is it third? It's debatable between this one and that 70s show, off and on for me, usually. But it's definitely a show that I love. You all know that I love it. And it's just an appropriate phrase from a great character that fits this moment. Holy crap on a cracker. I mean, I cannot believe that we are sitting here talking about 6 years of this channel existing. And when I started this, I started it just as a way to get my opinions out, as you all saw in that clip of the very first video, which it's just terrible to watch now. I mean, that camera was literally called basic webcam. I mean, it had no capturing software in it. We didn't go that far into the clip that you saw, but it had no capturing software in it. I mean, it really was just about as basic as you can get when it doesn't even have capturing software in it. My goodness. So the fact that I started out like that, and the fact that all of you have never once, except for a few trolls who are no longer here because you're trolls, you have never once made the cerebral palsy an issue. You've never once said that I have no business talking about the things that I've talked with you all about over the years, mostly film and television. And you've never once, not once, have you made me feel like I don't belong here, even after I had to take a 3-month hiatus in 2014 because of personal matters. You guys just, and gals, sorry, just welcomed me back with open arms, said it was great to see me, never even bothered to want to know why I was gone. And for that, I cannot thank you enough. So, without counting that 3-month hiatus, because who wants to do that, we are here celebrating 6 years on YouTube. 6 years. And you may wonder why it's 6 years and not 5 years. Well, it's for 2 reasons that we're doing a celebration, that is. It's for 2 reasons. One, I honestly uploaded a video on December 31st last year without even thinking that it was December 31st. And 2, I just think everybody does 5. So there's always been a thing in my family. I can't remember who started it or who said it to me, but somebody said it to me, and it's always stuck with me, that because everybody thinks 5 years is something, that must mean that it's not really something. If you do 6 years of anything consistently, then that really means you've done something right. 10 years is a different animal, of course. If we get to 10, if we get to 15, if we get to 20, gosh, can you guys imagine YouTube lasting long enough for anybody can get to 20 years? It's probably going to happen. There's probably going to be myself and more than one person on YouTube that will have a 20-year anniversary. That's a scary thought in retrospective, but yeah, I just want to celebrate with all of you because, and I'll talk more about this at the end of the video, but it's because of all of you that I am still here going today, and it's all of you that have made this channel worth doing. Now, a couple of things just before we get into the heart of the video here. Firstly, I don't know if you all saw a new intro or not. I had been trying to work on a new intro for about a week because it's high time that we got a new intro for the show, because of the simple fact that the intro showcases the old logo and the old apartment. So it was high time that I got a new intro for the show, but I really liked the look of the last intro and didn't want to deviate from it too much, and I know from comments that you all love it as well. So I was trying with my new superpowered, well, not superpowered, but superpowered compared to where I was in life, computer that I have now, you know, the 64-bit 8 gigs of RAM computer. And I realized that there was just, had to be something missing that I was not seeing. So I contacted my friend who originally helped me put together the intro, and he was like, oh yeah, well, it's because I used a program, or I mean a plugin, sorry, that is not actually a default Vegas Pro plugin. So I was like, oh, well, that explains it, because I don't have that plugin. So he was like, well, I could tell you how to get the plugin, but you probably can't get it in time, so why don't I just go ahead and make you another intro, because it doesn't really matter to me if you can do it yourself now. I enjoy doing them. So I said, yeah man, that'd be great. So shout out to Mark Somerville, because if you didn't see a new intro right now in this video, you will see a new intro probably by the next episode that airs. So shout out to Mark. I will put his channel link down below in the description box with all the other links that you'll find down below in the description box. If you're a person that just likes to see creations, like Mark, as far as I know, doesn't have one particular area of discussion. He's not so much of an in front of the camera, let's talk and let's make a video guy. He's a guy that's just about sharing his creations, and that's what he does, and he's phenomenal at it. So if you're interested in that kind of a channel, you will love Mark's channel. So I will, as I said, put it down below in the description box. If you did see the new intro, I thought since it was a new intro that maybe it was time for a new song as well, because we've been using that song through 2 intros now for about 3 years. So I thought maybe it was time for a new piece of royalty-free music as well. So I really like it, the one that is showcased, if there is a new intro. If all of you don't like it though, if you want me to go back to RP Throwdown, which was the piece of Impotech, I always struggle with how you say that side, but you guys know what side I'm talking about. It's the piece of Impotech music that we were using before. Let me know. I haven't deleted it. We can always go back to it. Again, it's called RP Throwdown. Secondly, this celebration is going to be a little bit different than what I originally thought it was going to be. My idea was that, as I mentioned before, it's all of you who made the RMR brand a possibility for the last 6 years. And I've been lucky enough that I've gotten close to a few of you. It's about maybe 10, 12, 15. It's something you can count on 2 hands of the people that I talk to on a regular basis outside of just commenting on videos. And I thought it would be great if all of those people would talk about me and their friendship with me and what they like about my channel over the years. Unfortunately, one of the things that I've discovered is that getting your first camera on New Year's Eve, which is technically a holiday, is a bad day to get your first camera and to be having a celebration to do in terms of people being around for a collaboration project. I thought that I'd given people enough notice to do it, but I really only came up with the idea that this celebration was something I wanted to do in early December. So I just don't think it was enough notice. So when we get to the next benchmark, which I think just logically will be 10 years, if we last 10 years, I will make sure that I send people messages in November, maybe even October, because November has Thanksgiving as well. So probably like the first week of October, I will send people messages, and hopefully we will get a lot more voices seen or heard on this channel for that celebration. That being said, if this for some strange reason is something that you all want to see every year from now on, let me know, and instead of like an overall celebration of the channel thing, we'll just do a celebration and remembrance of the year that was. And then when we get to big benchmarks, that's when we'll celebrate the whole entire show as a whole again. So I'll open that up. I mean, it's all about you guys and gals out there. So if you want to see a celebration every December 31st for their Asman's Reality, I'll do it. And I'll get whoever can help me with it to do it. But yeah, because I wasn't able to get as many people as I hoped to do video clips for me, there's only 2 people that actually was able to meet the deadline, just because of, like I say, the day it is and the schedule that people keep this time of year. I am just going to be talking about each of those special relationships and what those friendships mean to me, and then we'll end it with, ironically, 2 out of the 4 of my amazingly awesome close friends that I've made this year and this year alone, as they were the ones that were able to make videos. So we'll do that to end the video. But because I have pointed out already that this is all about you, the viewers, making this possible, I thought what we would do is similar to what you saw in the little clip of the very first episode. I thought I would do a little voiceover saying the date and time of the top 5 most popular videos in the history and episodes in the history of this channel. In an effort to keep uniformity, because I didn't want to just, start a video with the clip of the very first episode and then people were like, well, I can see by the title that this is an anniversary video, but why am I just being jumped straight into a very old clip? Like, I thought that would be very visually jarring, so to keep uniformity, I just kept the whole let's put text in, let's do a voiceover leading into each of the top 5. So we'll say what the top 5 are, we'll show the brief clip of each of the top 5 videos. I will talk about my memories and my reflections on those top 5 videos, and then, as I say, we'll get into the overall reflection. So here, beginning at number 5, is your top 5 videos in the history of the Ass Man's Reality Countdown, with video number 5. At number 5, with 808 views, it's uploaded on August 28, 2009. Enough is enough, and it's time for a change. We have Exhibit A, The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. One of the greatest epic fantasies of all time, and one of the best examples of what HD can do for film after you've seen it so many times in SD. Definitely worth a rebuy. The problem though, you only get the 2-disc special edition with the high def upgrade. You don't get the 4-disc extended version, which means that you're missing out on content, which in turn means that you can't get rid this baby, the 4-disc special edition DVD. Now, granted, there's not too much on here that isn't on the 2-disc special edition of The Lion, the Witch, and Wardrobe. And normally, if you're tight budgeted and you have to sell in order to get something new, this would be something that was expendable. Except for Disc 3 has an amazing documentary on the creator C.S. Lewis, where he writes a letter to his readers talking about his life. The only place to get this documentary is on Disc 3 of this set. So you have to keep the double dip in your house. Now, as you can tell by the nature of that video is going to need some explanation. It's going to be the one exception to, I'm not going to talk about special relationships before the tail end of the video, because that video was a tribute to my inspiration. The one guy who I saw on YouTube who did things similarly to the way that I wanted to do them, and really drove me and made me realize that a show type format on YouTube could be possible and could work. And it's a guy that is just one of the nicest guys on the planet. I miss the heck out of him. He's got a heck of a lot going on right now. He works full time. He's on the West Coast. He raises his daughter, if not full time, very, very close to full time now. So he's just one of the busiest guys I know. So I haven't talked to him properly in a very long time, but I still consider him one of my very best friends and a brother from another mother to me, and that is Sean McLean, Zarin Isaac. I cannot thank Zarin Isaac enough for everything he's done for this channel and for inspiring me to go forward and to continue to make videos and do my own thing and not let this disability hold me back. I would not be here without Zarin Isaac. That's one of 2 tributes that I've done to him, I did a second one that I actually thought was better. But judging by the view count, you guys and gals like the first one better. Maybe it's just because you, by the title, were more intrigued by the video, because the second tribute is called The Truth Is Darren Isaac, and with a title like that, maybe people were misled into thinking that I was going to dog on Darren Isaac, or I was going to talk about how terrible of a person that he was, when actually it was just an idea that was spawned from another video that he made. So if you've never seen The Truth Is Darren Isaac and you really liked what you saw of that clip, or if you've seen the entire first tribute video, I highly recommend going and checking out The Truth Is Darren Isaac, because that's a great one in my opinion. But yeah, Sean, you are the man. I mean, well over 6,000 subscribers. Clearly I'm not the only one that thinks you are the man, and just thank you for everything you've done for me. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you for allowing me to feel like I was enough of your friend to not only receive a package from you, more than one over the years, but to also last year, when I was lucky enough to be working, I was finally able to send you one back, and to see the joy on your face when you got that copy of Spearhead from Space, the classic Doctor Who episode on Blu-ray. It's just one of my favorite times that I've ever had. So just, Sean, thank you for everything. So yeah, that's my friendship with Sean McLean, Darren Isaac, and that explains more of why that video was the way it was. It was a tribute to Darren Isaac. And that, once again, is number 5. So here is number 4. At number 4, with 1,405 views, it's uploaded on November 14th, 2013, Boy Meets World, The Complete Collection Overview. Seasons 1 and 2. So here's your front. And back. And for special features, you have audio commentary with cast and crew, a bonus episode from season 4, and picture-in-picture video commentary with cast and crew. That's amazing to me, that last one, the picture-in-picture commentary. I've never seen that done on a DVD, so I'm curious as to how they pulled it off. Inside, covering up the first disc, you'll find this, your Boy Meets World, The Complete Collection episode index. You have seasons 1 through 3 on the front here. And then seasons 5 through 7 on the back. Then you have season 1, disc 1, Mr. Corey Matthews, and season 1, disc 2, Sean. Season 1, disc 3, Topanga, and season 2, disc 1, Corey. Season 2, disc 2, Sean, and season 2, disc 3, Topanga. Oh my goodness, what can I say about the Boy Meets World set? Well, first of all, how funny was that to look back on this apartment with, like, when I first moved in here, with just like bare walls and nothing in the background, and the collection not even displayed or any of that. And I was on different settings of the Yeti back then because I thought I needed to be on stereo, when it turns out when you're in a small room that podcast mode is better for the Yeti. And of course, as I've mentioned ad nauseum before, the fridge now is in a much better spot than it was, so the fridge doesn't distract audio wise from the sound of the video. So yeah, big lessons learned from just 2 years ago on my birthday. I at the time that that video, or the day after my birthday, sorry. If you saw the beginning, you would know that it was actually the day after my birthday because of some technical mishaps that I had with the actual showing of the actual sets themselves. But so that part is funny, but my goodness, that set, when I got that set, it is my favorite television show of all time. I go back and forth between that and How I Met Your Mother, and sometimes Star Trek The Next Generation, even though I said Star Trek The Next Generation was my number 5 in the FK Vlogs Ask video that I did with top 5 favorite TV shows. And if I have to really scrutinize everything, it still is number 5. But I watch Star Trek The Next Generation quite a bit. But, and by the way, for those that don't know, I still don't have season 7, and it's still driving me crazy. I just was not able to get it during the first week of release this year with no job, and it just went right back up to being expensive. So yeah, that's still something that's driving me insane to this day. But yeah, to have my favorite TV show of all time, and to be able to relive it properly with added bonus features. One of the few older shows that can only be put out on DVD because of the way it was filmed and mastered on standard definition videotape, to actually have the makers care enough about it and know what kind of a special property it is to actually get all new bonus features as compared to the original individual season releases that came with the complete collection. Just one of my all-time favorite sets, and I'm glad that it's something that you all love as well in terms of a show and we're really curious about. I mean, the view count proves that. So yeah, that's Boy Meets World, the complete collection. And now on to number 3. At number 3, with 1,508 views, uploaded on June 1st, 2013, it's That 70s Show, the complete series overview. Releases. And they were actually taken from a high definition restoration, because in addition to this, Mill Creek has also released these two. That 70s Show Season 1 and That 70s Show Season 2 on Blu-ray. And if you have high definition cable and have ABC Family, or satellite I guess too would have ABC Family, you may have seen what this show looks like in high definition. So bottom line is, Mill Creek knows how to do high quality stuff. So yeah, that reminds me yet again that now that we're settled in this apartment and now that my equipment is back to where it needs to be, I really need to try to get back in touch with Mill Creek to see if they'll let me do reviews for them again, because you all clearly love it, obviously, when studios can send brand new releases to me to review. And I love That 70s Show. Like I said, I go back and forth. I didn't even put that on my top 5 because it was such a scrutiny thing to have to do, to think about the shows that you watch the most in your life over and over and over again. But that show would absolutely be at number 6, and that's a show that I love and watch a lot of, and it was really cool to have that kind of reaction to it. And because it was a pre-release, because it was sent by Mill Creek, which is why I think it got so many views, because obviously you guys wanted to know what the set was like and should you pick it up, and because it was only DVD, is it worth it, and all of that. So that was really special to me. I'm really glad that you all enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed presenting it. So that is That 70s Show, the complete series overview. Now on to number 2. At number 2, with 2,507 views, it's uploaded on October 5th, 2014. It's How I Met Your Mother, the whole story unboxing. Okay, so like I said, we're trying something a little different because of the size. This is my Android camera. So here's the box itself. There's the top corner, bottom right hand corner where it tells you about the alternate ending and pineapple, solving the blue French horn, all of that. There's the front of the box. And you can see that it still has cellophane on it. So now I'm going to make a cut and I'll take the cellophane off and I'll show you the front and the back. Alright, so there it is, cellophane off and all of its beautiful glory. How I Met Your Mother, the whole story, of course, with the playbook design, Barney's playbook. So now let's take a look at the spine and the back. Sorry, I just wanted to show the pineapple and the blue French horn again. Alright. So here's the look of the spine. And there's the page design look. And then here is the back, which tells you everything. There's the special features. A little bit of a look. Hopefully you can see that. Oh, now it's coming into focus better. But that's the exclusive special features. And then spanning up, it just shows you overall like everything you get in the set. There's some of the screenshots and things like that. So awesome set. And now let's open it up. Okay, so when we open it up, we get these beautiful screenshots from the series here, surrounded by the pineapple, the tie, and the blue French horn. Yeah, I just want to make sure I got that last one. It's kind of hiding in the corner there. You get a blurb about the history of the show itself on the spine, and then the DVDs. Yes, DVDs. We'll get more into that later on. But the DVDs themselves are inside. And we'll show you how here. Alright, so there's how each season is placed inside the set. It looks like they would be easy to damage, but DJ Bob has the set and I know that they'll be just fine. Clearly the most recent video on this countdown, and one that I'm really glad that I did. Like I said, I did it for you guys. I mean, it was the comments and the interaction from all of you every time I talked about How I Met Your Mother in any way, shape, or form on this channel that made me realize that it wasn't just for me that I would be picking up that set if I decided to dip into my savings and pick it up, but it was because you all would really enjoy it, that I felt like it was a justification to make. And at the time I was just really apprehensive about it because of not having a new computer yet and knowing how badly I needed one. But God works everything out. He really does. And I was just meant to have that set with as the last big purchase that I made with my money from when I was working, because my mom was able to find this new computer within her budget on Cyber Monday for Christmas this year. So I was just meant to have How I Met Your Mother. So I really appreciate how many times you all have watched that set, how many times a lot of you have followed up with the story about the disc getting damaged at first and how they got replaced. And like I said, we're going to be doing Batman first, just simply because, and that's another thing, if I almost have to redo that top 5 list now, because Batman, the classic television series, is available now on disc, where at the time it wasn't available for anyone to own when I did that video as a response to Frankie. So yeah, that is really high up on my list. Probably my #1 show of all time, just in in terms of how it shaped me and my impact, that would probably slide Boy Meets World all the way down to number 2, Batman. So we're going to be doing Batman first, but right after Batman, of course, there'll be a lot of this year dedicated to How I Met Your Mother. So I really look forward to that, and I really look forward to, and I've been rewatching the series this entire time. I just wanted to do a rewatch for myself, which obviously doing the Batman rewatch for myself has put that on hold, but I'm on season 6 of that rewatch for my own personal self, and then when I get done with that, we can start it all over again with season 1 and start doing the episode by episode breakdown reviews. But yeah, I'm really glad that you love How I Met Your Mother, and I'm really glad that it means a lot to you. So that is the number 2 video in the history of RMR. And now for the number 1 video of all time in the history of the Raz Man's reality. At number 1, with 3,750 views, it's uploaded on January 8th, 2013. It's The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, Part 2, Spoilers. That was a conscientious decision.
Yeah.
And how much of it was?
Well, I think it's all conscientious. They're just trying to make it, but how much?
Well, I think part of it was, but part of me thinks maybe it was Peter Jackson trying to come in and make a film out of the broken pieces, because he fought and fought and fought and didn't want to do this again for whatever reason, and they had they had 3 guys involved in the screenplay before him.
Toro stayed on for the screenplay.
And Toro stayed on, but Toro was supposed to direct. So it's almost like was Peter Jackson trying to salvage his film out of what other people had done. That's part of what my thinking process is.
Maybe, but I think he had enough time to really rework it to the way he wanted to be. He worked with a lot of people for it, and a lot of people gave him different opinions, but I think all in all, it was ultimately his decision. Now, to give an example of what I mean by high fantasy and epic fantasy, look at the fact there's one moment in there where you have a king's head getting chopped off and being thrown to the grandson.
Epic scene.
That's epic scene. Epic. You know, like an enemy orc grabs the head of the king, throws it down. Your grandson looks at it horrified, and then he gets up there and he's like, "I'm gonna kill you," you know. And epic scene, epic fantasy. Then it goes straight to, like, after that you have another scene in there where you have these, and this is what I didn't like at all, these stone giants. I know it describes in The Hobbit when you read it that it was like more like a simile. Tolkien was writing about thunder and a storm. They're on a mountain. The dwarves are on a mountain, and there's a storm, and they need to find refuge. But he describes it in such a way, like a child manner, saying it's like instead of a storm, it's really giants throwing stones. And Peter Jackson took that verbatim and made stone giants throwing stones at each other, fighting. And in fact, the dwarfs were on like the knee of a stone giant and had to run off of it as they were beating each other up. And that just drew me completely out of the film. I was like,
it's just completely
it's a little too far-fetched for me.
Middle-earth is very fantasy, yes, but it's always felt like it's almost realistic.
And the reason being is he's established it in the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
You can't just stick something like that in there and say, okay, now this thing exists in that world. Now, how are you going to incorporate that in Lord of the Rings? Like, if you watch Lord of the Rings and you know what it's like, can you imagine these giant creatures coming up and, like, raiding an army or something?
Right.
These things are huge. They're mountain-sized.
And it's
mountains.
And it's not the same thing as a ring wraith or a tree walker.
Yeah, like a
it's
on a whole other level of fantasy.
Yeah, it's the Ents make sense because A, they were in the book, and B, the moment when they come in, like, that was the only thing that could have saved that moment was magic. But the stone giants, it's like they took a little metaphor like that and made it into this unrealistic thing. It totally takes you out of the moment. You don't believe anymore that you're on this adventure.
Middle Earth.
You think, okay, this is Bilbo's head, and he's embellishing, which, you know, it's well-known fact that Bilbo's supposed to be narrating
Yeah,
the book.
but you're not thinking about that when you're watching the film.
No, you're not.
You're watching the film, because he only introduces it right in the beginning. Like, he's like, the film introduces itself saying, he gives like a little prelude introduction with Thorn and all that, which I thought was too long. They could have cut off bits there and left it for the extended DVDs. And then it goes into, you know, verbatim, it says, in the hole in the ground there lived a hobbit. And you see him writing those words, and that's how it begins. So you understand that, yeah, he is writing it. But you don't think about that when you're watching the film, because it doesn't go back and cut back and forth between him writing it.
Well, yeah, it's part of the story where Gandalf says to him, you're going to have to embellish your adventure a little bit. It's
Right. Every good adventure deserves embellishment, I think. Is
so a lot of people feel like when they read the book and even see the film to a certain aspect, a lot of people feel like only parts of it actually happened and parts of it are just Bilbo's memory embellishing.
Well, the way he writes the book too, he writes it in the narrative form. Like, he narrates the thing. Tolkien is writing as Bilbo, I think, in The Hobbit, and
right.
And it's like him narrating it.
But my point is, even knowing that doesn't excuse what they did with the Stone Giants.
It just seems it pulls you out. You're like, these can't exist in Middle Earth.
No,
get them out of here.
No, there's no way. I mean, I would have accepted it more if it would have been like, if they would have talked about, you know, it's like giants throwing stones at each other, and then there would have been like a huge thing of thunder and maybe some magic, maybe the ground shook. Like that's fine. Yeah. But stone giants actually...
These things, huge, massive things.
Yeah.
I mean, these things will make the Balrog. They could squash that thing with it. Just, there goes the Balrog.
Yeah, and
that epic thing in the Lord of the Rings.
And it just makes you, like, the Balrog kill Gandalf after Gandalf dealt with those things.
It means so much to me that by view count, you all voted in as your #1 choice that review of The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey, because Chris is my cousin by blood, but he is my brother by action, and I've been trying for years and still trying, because he just really didn't like watching himself back on camera. He just became like, that's not something I want to do anymore. But it just means a lot to me that I was able to convince him to do it that year, and that you all responded to it so well, especially considering that I had to use my horrible on-board camera microphone at the time and didn't have a proper desktop microphone for when there's more than one person in the room, and you didn't let the crappy audio quality detract from what you felt was the quality of the review itself. And I never ever thought that I would ever have a video that would be over 3,000 views. I mean, that's almost viral video level stuff. Well, maybe not nowadays, it wouldn't be, but back in the early days of YouTube, that is almost viral video level stuff. 3,000 views, over 3,000 views on a video, and to me that is a huge thing, and I really appreciate it. To me, that means that even though the third one is out now, there must be some people that are still going back and even re-watching that video now for it to have a view count that's that high. So on behalf of Chris, and hopefully, because I sent him a message, I told him to make sure he watched this video. But yeah, Chris, there is your proof. I mean, the view count proves it. The viewers of this show love you, and they loved what you had to say in terms of your opinion. So please, the next time you're in Ohio, or if I can get the one thing that I'm going to be working on that I'll talk about at the end of this video, and we can do long distance videos, then please come back and be a part of this channel every once in a while, because people I know would really respond to it. So that's the #1 video of all time. in this channel's history, The Hobbit, The Unexpected Journey, Part 2, spoilers. And now comes the fun part for me, where I get to talk about the most unexpected benefit other than you all, the viewers in general, of course, which I will discuss as we close out here. But the most number one unexpected aspect and most joyous aspect of doing YouTube for this long is that you find people that end up becoming part of your life that just found you simply from making videos, and their family too now in a lot of ways. And you talk to them more. Everybody on this list, I talk to them more than I talk to a lot of my own family, and that's a big deal to me and means a lot to me. So I've already talked about Zarin Isaac, so I'm not going to mention him twice, but again, Sean, you know how much you mean to me, and thank you. So the second person that I have to talk about actually doesn't make videos, but this is a person that is a online DJ. He hosts an online radio show and does something similar to YouTube. He's just more of an old school guy. He was inspired to do radio and just likes the audio more than he does being seen visually, which is fine, because without him, the Razman's Reality Podcast, which is now a part of Epic Gamer Radio, has been a part of this YouTube channel, and I hope to make it a part of the YouTube channel again, but more on that again as we close out. But without him, the Razman's Reality Podcast would not exist, and just without his brotherhood and support, I just don't believe that I would be sane most days in life. And that is Bob, Mr. Nostalgia, Gerard Runkle, DJ Bob Runkle. Thank you for being my little brother from another mother. It's not even about you having cerebral palsy too. I mean, yeah, that's why we first connected, one of the big reasons. But we just have so much in common, and you just always, you know how to put things in perspective from me, and we just always seem to know how to help each other. Whether it's you helping me helping you, or sometimes, a lot of times, both of us helping each other in the same day. So, as I had to adjust the tray there, sorry about that, it was coming loose on me. But just thank you for everything, and for always being there, and for being someone that is just the definition of importance to me. Thank you, DJ Bob. Next up is a guy that I've known for as long as I've known Bob, or actually no, a year longer than I've known Bob, and just about as long as I've known Sean. And his name is Polite Mediocrity, aka Blind Jimmy Jefferson. He's now Blind Jimmy Jefferson on YouTube and the film and television community, which is the community that most of you are a part of that watch these episodes. And Adam's just a fun as heck dude, just a guy that I have so much in common with, and a guy that I could just talk to for hours, and a guy that just always goes out of his way to listen and to be there and to hang out whenever he can, despite being, as he puts it, a bollocks British guy. So just thank you for everything, Adam. We are working on another collaboration. He actually sent me Christmas gifts, but you all never saw them on video because we are going to do it in the exact same way that we did it the first time Adam sent me something in a video entitled An Unexpected Package from Polite Mediocrity. So we are working on that. So hopefully you all will see that sooner rather than later. But yeah, Adam, you're just the man, and thank you for everything over the years. Next up is a guy who I've unfortunately, and a girl too, who I've unfortunately lost touch with because of life, changes in their life and changes in mine. But I'm putting them on this list because at one point I was without an editor, and they got me an editor, which allowed me to continue to make videos, and because they've just always been great people to speak to over the years, and I'm putting them on this list so that they know that I still think about them quite a bit, and I hope to be able to get back in touch with them. It's motivation for myself to try to get in touch with them in the ways that I know might be possible to do so, and that's Heather and Chris Ackerman, Rush Lover 2112, and Sergeant Pepper 1138. You guys have just been amazing friends to me over the years, and thank you for everything. And like I say, I hope that we can be back in each other's lives, because y'all are family to me, and I care a great deal about you, and you just mean a lot to me. So thank you. Next up is Clinton, Cynical 44. This is a guy who actually I just met because he was a fan of my videos, and then I went to look at his videos and I realized that we had a ton in common, and if it hadn't been for Chill Pilgrim in the last year and a half, this is the guy that would be the king of mail day package videos on this channel. He's just sent me so much great stuff over the years to help contribute to the collection. Just a freaking-tastic guy, just not a mean bone in his body. Thank you, Clinton, for being the awesome person that you are. Next up is a guy that I met around the same time that I met Zarin Isaac and Polite Mediocrity, Blind Jimmy Jefferson, and was actually one of the very first viewers that I remember interacting with, and a guy that I would definitely talk to more if we were just able to talk more. But he doesn't use the internet for social activity as much as he used to, although he says he's going back to making videos, so I hope he does go back to making videos on a regular basis this year, because I just miss chatting with him regularly. He's just a great dude to have around. He's contributed to the comic and the DVD and Blu-ray collection so immensely over the years, and just a fun as heck dude, and a great inspiration as far as creativity as well. And that's the artist formerly known as Planet Bearwagon, now just going by his real name, Travis Bearwagon. So thank you so much, man, for who you are and for the brotherhood that we have shared over the years. I salute you, sir. Next up is a guy who is a part of the Geeky.com crew. It is pretty much the right-hand man on the Geeky.com crew, and a guy that I just have a ton in common with, and a guy that I can relate to for a lot of personal reasons, and a guy I miss talking to, and hopefully we'll be able to get back in touch with again very soon. Again, my life has just been so up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down over the past year and a half, and I've just lost touch with some people, and it's unfortunate, but I hope to fix it. And that is Skinslip, Brandon. I like the dude so much that I was able to help him upgrade his equipment. earlier this past 2014 year. So, well, I shouldn't say this past yet, it's still New Year's Eve for most of the world. But depending on where you're at, it might be next year by now. But yeah, of course now he's using his dad's GoPro, so he doesn't use the C920 very much, but I still know that he appreciated it at the time. And yeah, I just love it, dude. He's just hilarious to be around. Whether you agree with him or disagree with him, it doesn't matter. He's just a fun dude to be around. So, Brandon Skinslip, thank you for everything. Which leads me to Geeky.com's founder and leader and Brandon's best friend and one of Sean's best friends and a guy when he's around, one of my best friends, the guy responsible for me having Amazon Prime shipping because he thought enough of me to put him on, or put me on, sorry, his family share plan. So how can I not give him a shout out? And as Justin Stoutman, I'm really glad that you two have been able to upgrade all of your equipment this year, man, and get better equipment for yourself. You know that I just really enjoy talking to you. And like I always say to Brandon and to Sean, if it wasn't for the West Coast thing or the different time zone thing, actually Brandon's not on the West Coast anymore, but he was, I think, at one point, although I could be wrong. Anyway, you know what I mean, Justin. It's the whole different time zone thing. That's why we don't talk as much as we should. So I really just appreciate your friendship, and I appreciate you keeping me as a part of Geeky.com, even though I've had a very rough year and haven't been able to contribute much. I enjoy immensely being one of the founders there, and one of my goals is to be able to contribute to Geeky.com once again this year. Of course, it's very difficult right now being without paying gigs, but if things work out financially, or if I can get some studio sponsorship or whatever, I will have a lot more to do written reviews about. So yeah, I hope to be part of the Geeky.com family again. So thank you, Justin, for everything you have done. And then finally, to wrap up the guys on this list, I want to talk about the artist formerly known, for most of the time I knew him as WWE TNA for Life, now known as the PW Outsider, Brennan Miller. Brennan, you are... Oh, sorry, I did forget one other person, and I don't want to forget you, so I'm going to talk about you after I talk about Brennan. I apologize. Almost forgot you. But I want to say to you, Brennan, that I am so grateful for our brotherhood, for the fact that you've seen me at my best, you've seen me at my worst, and you're still here. And you're just someone that I know will always care about me and always... Actually, I forgot about two people. My goodness, there's two other guys. This is why you should never do this kind of thing without making a list, but I just wanted to try and be off the cuff. So there's two other guys. But yeah, anyway, I just thank you, Brennan, for everything that you've done and everything you've meant to me in this channel, and driving me to still continue my wrestling opinions even now that I realize that my wrestling opinions don't really fit here and I have a separate channel for them. You keep me inspired to be a very strong wrestling fan, and you're more of a film buff than people know. So as I've said for years, I hope that you'll consider doing film and television videos at some point. But yeah, I love your videos, man. I love you. You're the man, and thank you for everything. Next up is Ryan Chataway. Again, a guy, you've seen me at my best, you've seen me at my worst. I was honored at one point to have you call me and inspiration. So I thank you for that, and I thank you for everything that you have meant to me. I would not be here today and the strong person that I am today without you and your support. So thank you. And finally, there is the new King of Packages, who I briefly mentioned earlier, the one and only Scott Chill Pilgrim. Just one of the greatest friends I've made over the years. Contributes to the collection more than any single person on the planet. Is doing it again. The package might even come later on today, so you might see back-to-back episodes in this very same outfit. But yeah, just an absolutely fan-freaking-tastic guy with a heart of gold. You're the man, Scott. Thank you for being such a great friend. And now, on to the ladies. First up is Rona Carmazin Roth, who is not making videos right now at this time because of other things she's got going on in her life. But I hope that she will make videos again at some point. Just a wonderful friend. You guys saw all the awesome Scottish goodies that she sent me for the holidays. That was an awesome package, and she's just a wonderful, wonderful friend and someone that I'm extremely, extremely grateful for. So thank you, Rona. And now we get into the two people, the two girls that I was lucky enough that were actually able to do clips for this anniversary celebration. And a thank you to me as my thank you to them as well. So first up, we have the one and only FK Vlogs. Let's hear from Frankie.
6 years anniversary video! Yay! Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that it's been 6 years you've been doing this channel. Obviously, anybody else watching the video, you know you're watching this, the Razman reality, and it's the 6-year anniversary video, and I cannot believe that. It's such a great achievement. You should really be so proud, and huge congratulations. Wishing you all the best of luck for all the future years. I hope you continue to do these videos, and that you'll have, you know, 10th anniversary right close, well, 4 years ahead, 4 years away even, but you know, you'll be celebrating again for many, many more years, because I have been loving these videos. I've only found your channel in the past year, but I cannot wait for more years to come and more videos, and to see what you'll do with the channel and what the future will bring. And I just think they're really fantastic, and I really love watching them. So thank you so much for making them, and thank you for just sticking with the channel and, you know, just bringing us videos and lightening up people's days, because they really, really do. And I really, really enjoy your channel and your content. And I'm just so excited that you know, you'll be continuing to do it, and that you've done 6 years, which is insane. And so massive congratulations. I just wanted to say that, you know, I really love the channel, and that I wish you all the best of luck for the future, and that I think 6 years is a great achievement, and you should be very proud and have a great day celebrating today. So yes, I love the videos, stick with it, keep going for many more years, and huge congratulations on 6 years, 6-year anniversary video. That is the 6-year anniversary song right there that I have just made up just for you now. Yeah, so well done. Thank you for the friendship we've had over the past year and everything, and keep making the awesome videos.
Frankie, everything you said about me is 10 times over how I feel about you. I cannot tell you, well, I have told you in private, and I won't repeat it here, but I cannot tell you publicly as well as I would like to just how much your friendship has meant to me this year, how strong and together you've kept me, and how, quite literally, just because of the changes in life that I've talked about, and the schedules, and just other people that I've mentioned here being busy and everything, that you quite literally, if I had to make such a list, are now my best YouTube friend. And I don't know what I would do without you, or have done without you this year. I mean, I don't know, we both have been around for ages. I think you've been around for a little over 4 years, if I remember from what I saw on your first video. And I know that I've been around 6 years as of today. So I don't know how in the world we went until this year without finding each other, because we have so much in common, both in terms of likes and dislikes and just overall as people, that we could have been best friends for a very, very long time. But I'm so grateful to know you and so grateful to have you in my life. Just thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm very, very grateful that I got through that thank you without choking up. Because when I watched your clip back, I did shed a little bit of a tear. So just thank you for everything. I truly, truly appreciate you. And as a friend, I love you very, very dearly, Frankie. Thank you. And finally, we have the one and only representative of one of the greatest cities in all the world and a tremendous film buff in her own right. Let's hear from my pal Sim, London City Girl TV.
Hi Razman, congratulations on 6 years on YouTube. I love your channel and I love your content. I also like the fact that sometimes we have a little bit of a dissimilar taste in films. I don't think anybody else would have been able to convince me to watch Saved or The Perks of Being a Wallflower. We do sometimes have things in common as well. For example, Gilmore Girls. I don't know anybody else who loves that series as much as I do. You're so nice and you're so friendly. You're one of the first people that I've ever done a podcast with, and I'm hoping that we can collaborate more in the new year. Congratulations again, and I'll be chatting to you soon. Bye.
Thank you, Sim, for those wonderfully kind words, and thank you for being a part of the Razman's Reality Radio Show podcast, and for being willing to always be a person just like Frankie, who is up for any kind of collaboration that anybody wants to do. Despite how busy that you are, you still find time to do them when you can do them. You're just a wonderful person that's full of energy, and I'm just so honored to have gotten to know you this year. Thank you for your friendship this year, and here's to many, many more years to come. And lastly, before I close out, I want to thank someone in my personal life that doesn't make videos, but I know watches my videos and will know who she is. Thank you for being a part of my life for just about as long as any friend that I have ever had. And thank you for seeing me through my ups and downs, my goods and bads, and just being a consistent presence in my life. Just like I said to many others here today, I wouldn't be where I am without your support over the years. So thank you to you. And finally, to wrap this up, I just want to say a general, big, gigantic, ginormous, huge, massive, every word that means that word, thank you to every single person that's ever watched one of my videos. All of you are the reason that I keep doing this. All of you are the reason that I don't feel like I talk to myself, or that I have to remind myself, that I'm not talking to myself, despite how I might feel, is what I was trying to say sometimes. And you all just make this worth doing. You're just tremendous people, and I just enjoy so much talking to all of you about what I love, and having all of you love me loving to speak about it just as much. So thank you for sitting through this entire long celebration. I hope that last minute change that I had to make to the way I did it, still made it enjoyable. And I hope that I will be able to do another one of these, either, as I mentioned way back in the beginning, if you all vote for something like this every year, or definitely again, because Frankie's put it out there now, so we have to do it. And just like we have to do FK Vlogs every time she asks a question, or possibly in a new, better way. And Frankie, if you didn't catch my suggestion on that, I know we talk to each other so much, so maybe you just haven't caught my suggestion on that, but that's in a reply on the video of the strange movies I loved as a kid. So if you like that idea better, let me know. We might start doing it that way. But just like every time I have to interact with Frankie on a video, Frankie's put it out there and she's made it a public thing now, so we can't hide and shy away from it. If we make it to 10 years, we have to do this again for 10 years. And I hope that all of you that are here today will be here for that, at the very least, as well. For the 100th time and for the final time, so that we don't make this any longer than it has to be, I was even going to do an honorable mention video. Oh, I almost went this entire video without mentioning Jack, Civilian Snowman. So Jack, I know we don't talk as much anymore because of things going on in life, just like everybody else, but you know how much your friendship means to me over the years and how great a friend I think you are. So thank you to you. I'm glad that I was able to remember you and your awesomeness before I shut this video off, as well as Sam, the Lucha Media Geek, who I've gotten to know a little bit, and of course Liam, who's just as good a friend as Jack. There, I got all my British peeps out before I close the video out. But just one final time again, thank you to everybody who's ever been a part of this. You all make it worth doing. I'm not going anywhere. Despite the financial struggles right now, I will find a way to keep this channel relevant. I will continue to do videos as long as you all want to watch them. So thank you, thank you, thank you, 10,000 times thank you. And look for the revamp Patreon very, very soon. Please subscribe if you're new here and you managed to sit through this entire celebration and you enjoyed what you saw here today, because I would love to see you again. And as always, remember that this is reality according to the Razman and Razman style. It's not just a catchphrase, but a way